And now we move on to the first good fight on the main card. Beneil Dariush taking on Mateusz Gamrot. And I feel like Dariush is going to be slept on quite a bit by a lot of people here. I mean, the odds I reckon are sleeping on him. I think he's a little bit too big of an underdog in this matchup. I am going to be picking Gamrot though. So I guess you could say I'm sleeping on him as well. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he got a win. But it's kind of crazy how people on Instagram have just all of a sudden started talking about how Beneil Dariush was robbed as a title shot, this and that. And it's like, no, he wasn't. You know what I mean? I feel like people just don't quite understand the timelines and how things work. But Beneil Dariush, he beat Tony Ferguson, right? And then he did nothing. He sat and did nothing. He called out nobody. He didn't call out Dustin Poirier. Or he didn't even call out Conor McGregor. You know what I mean? Like everyone does. He didn't call out Justin Gaethje. Didn't call out anyone in the top five. Just beat Tony Ferguson and called out Elon Musk, and that was that. He had his 5 minutes of fame, and then just disappeared. And then he was meant to fight Islam Makhachev, which would have been a pretty interesting fight. But he can't get a title shot after beating Tony Ferguson, and then before that he beat Diego Ferreira by split decision, Scott Holtzman by just random spinning back fist, Drakkar Close by KO. That is a pretty good highlight, and they're still using that highlight to this day. And then Frank Camacho, like just these just aren't well aging wins. And they're not wins that are going to get you a title shot. You know what I mean? I feel like Beneil Dariush really wanted a title shot. He really should have thrown his name into that mix when things were really heated up in the lightweight division about a year and a half ago when Conor McGregor and Dustin Poirier were fighting each other. And lightweight was ablaze. It still is. It still is probably the best division aside from bantamweight. Bantamweight and lightweight are the best divisions. Maybe now that Jose Aldo's gone, bantamweight's taken a little bit of a hit. But Mateusz Gamrot, you know, he came into the UFC, controversial loss to Guram Kutaladze. I do think that Gamrot did win that fight, after watching it. But then I think he lost to Arman Tsarukyan, you know. And I watched that fight, and honestly, you actually can argue 4 rounds to Arman Tsarukyan. It's kind of interesting how the decision played out. There's 3 pretty clear rounds in my opinion that Arman won, and one of them he got a knockdown in, which yeah, he just should have got the round. He got a knockdown. But yeah, anyway, he beat Diego Ferreira. I mean, I was saying in my video that he was losing to Diego Ferreira. I rewatched the fight. He was not losing to Diego Ferreira, but he wasn't looking great against Diego Ferreira. And then he got that random knee out of nowhere. He dominated Jeremy Stephens very quickly. He beat Scott Holtzman by KO. I guess that's another common opponent that they have with each other. But another thing is, though, Beneil Dariush, he hasn't... I don't think he's been taken down in like 5 years or something crazy like that, which would sound crazy, but he doesn't fight often like whatsoever, and a lot of the guys that he's been fighting aren't really guys that would want to take him down anyway. But Gamrot, I feel like, is a guy that is going to, and it's going to be interesting because if Dariush hasn't been taken down for 5 years, then how's he going to react when he does get taken down? Because I do think that Gamrot's going to land at least one takedown on Dariush for sure. And if Dariush hasn't been taken down in so long, he hasn't been put on his back for so long, how are we going to know how Beneil Dariush is going to react to situations like that? And Gamrot's grappling is very elite. I really like Gamrot in this matchup. And, I mean, I like Dariush too. There's a very good argument for Dariush to win the matchup. Very underrated fighter, as I said. But I'm going to underrate him as well myself. I'm going to be picking Mateusz Gamrot to win this matchup. I think he's going to get the fight to the ground. And if it does get to the ground, it's going to get interesting. It's going to get very interesting. That's going to be a great scrap. But I'm going to be picking Gamrot to win. Fight goes the distance, likely. I mean, I'm not too sure. There really could be a finish in this fight, but I'm going to be picking Mateusz Gamrot to win the fight.